It's 7 in the morning and it's already scorching hot. Incredible. I know in the Netherlands or in Europe, well, I guess in the Netherlands, summer is already on its way out. But here, man, it's hot. I totally underestimated the heat yesterday. Even though I drank a lot in the morning, I still felt really dehydrated when I came back down from the mountain. The end was really steep, but I did complete the whole course that I wanted to do. So all that is left is to do everything in one go, which will probably be by the end of September because it's just too hot to stay overnight in a tent. Um, but yeah, I'm back in the garden, and I thought this would be a nice opportunity to get a garden update. Um, Everything is really growing well. So first up, I'm looking at it right now, the king cum. I don't know if I say this correct, kumquat in English. And yeah, it was eaten completely by deer in the winter. And now it's back. It's not as big as it was before, but it's definitely back. Uh, you know, it's growing. That's good. And I see these little tiny king cons. Sometimes there were at some point there were many, and then the tiny ones they're gone. I don't know if they're eaten, but one thing for sure is that the leaves get eaten now by caterpillars. So I had an infestation of, well, not an infestation, but a few caterpillars here and there, and also something called leaf miner, which is also I think it's a bug that kind of nests in the leaves or eats the leaves. So I had no choice but to use some organic spray on this. I use this for all the fruit trees. Hopefully it works and keeps the bugs away. But yeah, the caterpillars. And I've realized I've kind of Googled them, Google Lens them. If they're cute looking, they'll turn into butterflies. The nasty ones, the big fat ones that look like a small dog, they turn into hawk moths. And I've seen further down, I saw some Japanese people looking at the trees.
オオトビモンシャチャウコというね、名前の
あ、そうです
毛
か。
虫です。
何になる
え
が
ガになります。
が
ガ。
がそうですか。ありがとう。
葉っぱを食べます。
Ah. And they were hanging, you know, many of them really thick, hairy caterpillars, and they also turn into moths. Um, yeah, not a problem, but the caterpillar itself they look pretty nasty. I wouldn't touch them. Next up, the yuzu tree, also attacked by caterpillars. That's where I saw the big one with the tail on the back, and it looked dead, but it was still very much alive. Also there I had to spray, but yeah, that's growing well. The lilac is growing really tall. When I was a kid, we used to have a lilac tree in our front yard, and this seems to be more like a shrub. In my memory, our lilac, it was like it had a stem and then branches, but this seems to be branches right from the start, more like a shrub. Maybe there's different kinds. And then there's the lemon tree around the back. That's doing really well. That's a bit more in the shade. And one, I don't know if I say this one correctly, but I think Sarusugare. I don't know the the English name. Was it something myrtle? Nah. Well, it's like it's nicknamed for its stem. The trunk of the tree is slippery, so monkeys can't climb up. That's I think why, or they call it something like the monkey slide tree. But it's still really tiny. So hopefully one day in a few decades, these trees will be all gloriously big, and we can pick the yuzu and the king kong, and lemon, you know, straight out the garden. Another thing I wanted to talk about is monkeys. Monkeys, I've seen them at the nearby shrine. Amazing. I first saw the tiny ones. They climb up the toilet. I mean the toilet building, and they're like little acrobats, you know, swinging and really cute. And if you look at them, how they organize the group, I've noticed that the moms hang out with the little ones, and the dads, they sit on top of the shrine, overlooking, the area. Really cool. And if you get a little bit too close, the male monkeys will start to not attack you, but you know, first they look at you, and then they approach you. They're not scared, even though I'm much taller. I'm the one that's scared. So I had to back off, and because there's only one path going back, I had to pass like a family of monkeys that were up on the shrine. And then when I almost passed it, there was a male monkey that was in a tree, and he was shaking the tree vigorously, scaring me off. I wish I could really communicate with him. I said, look, I respect you, I respect your family, I mean you no harm, but if I can just take a couple of pictures, would that be okay? But there is none of that communication going. When you look at their faces, I mean, they look so similar, the eye, the expressions, and they're so human, or we are so monkey, that you feel that connection. But you also, the faces, they're so red and intimidating to me, at least. Okay, I'll back off. And the weather. I mean, I already said it's hot. It's even more hot in Kyoto. I feel bad for the people that have to work in construction. They have these cool jackets with the wind blowing inside. But still, being a farmer, being in construction in a Japanese summer must be really, really tough. I highly respect people that do that kind of physical labor. But then in Kyoto, 2 days ago, after a really hot, hot day, all of a sudden, a deluge of water, the rain in thick drops came down. For about 10 minutes, we had a brief moment of coolness, and then the heat comes back again. And here in Shiga, there's a big lake, Lake Biwa, and I think the electricity builds up over a few days, and then by the end of the day, there's a lot of lightning. You can hear the thunder, you can see the lightning. Not so much rain, but up in the clouds on the other side, it was beautiful, a spectacle. The lightning in the clouds. So, also I put the trail camera back on, and I'm just gonna check it now to see if there's any recordings. Maybe the monkeys, maybe some deer. We'll see.